Well, we're wrapping up the season on what I hope is a high note. We've secured promotion from the National 2 in an albeit unconventional manner. I'll show you that here in a second. We've got our initial budget set, and I have not looked at those yet, so we're going to be discovering that together. We're going to have one more game against FC Martigues, and then an end-of-season review and a look at the spreadsheet, and then it's time for the summer. My name is FM Jellicoe, and you're watching the Ritornu of Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 16. So a 0-0 draw with Sporting Club Toulon secured us promotion to the Championnat National. But that's look at the number of yellow cards here. 11 yellow cards between both teams. Laval got sent off on a double yellow. That was after he was booked in the 34th minute. He got a second yellow card in the 71st minute. I didn't have get stuck in turned on in this game, and yet. Holy cow. Can we check out this ref here real quick? Sebastian Brutal. No, we can't. Maybe there's a reason he's only reffed 7 matches this game. God, those yellow cards. Freaking insane. But with that win, we did secure promotion. Pivotal match, the 5-0 victory against EFC Frush Saint Raphael. Bezecourt got injured 1 to 2 games out. Laval, suspended for 1 match. Pelopoulos vows to end his goal drought, which is nice. Bell got injured and was out 4 to 6 weeks, and that was 3 weeks ago. Initial budgets. I'm not looking. You know what? That's not... Literally, that's what we're at now. That's a little bit of a bump to the wage budget, but the transfer budget's the same. So we've got a little bit of play there. Plus, there are some players leaving at the end of this year. We'll look at that here in a little bit. Unexpected promotion. Well, how did we get to this point? With a lot of goals. We're actually on the verge of breaking the National 2 goal scoring record, which is really, really kind of cool when you consider the number of teams in this league and the quality of teams in this league, the least of which is AS Monaco. We last saw each other at the AS Saint-Priest game. We beat them 4-0. We were then away at the Olympic Lyon Reserves, and they thumped us 3-1. Jeremy Santini had a first-minute goal. I thought we had a chance, and then Guri scored. Mary had a pretty unfortunate own goal in the 61st minute. Rodez scored in the 73rd minute. We were then home at the Bordeaux Reserves, and we absolutely thumped them. Ludovic Jeunesse to brace a goal, Santini a goal, Doumbia a goal, Cervello an own goal in extra time. 3 extra time goals in this match. Come on, FM. And then when I thought things couldn't get better, we hosted Montpellier Reserves and we beat them 6-2. Parent a 3rd-minute goal, Mary a 27-minute goal, Bezecourt a brace of goals, Midori a goal, and Doumbia a goal. Killing Kabui had a brace of goals from Montpellier, but it was nowhere near enough. And then this match against SC Toulon, the draw would have secured us promotion, and we got a draw. If only yellow cards counted as goals. 55 points, as you can see. Monaco has not drawn a game. They've won 26 and lost 3. I don't know why it took us this long to clinch, because our closest competitor was Saint-Priest. 47 and 50 with 2 games left. We should have done it last game. Goals scored, 72 in the league. Goals allowed, 33, 3rd best in the league. 56 yellow cards. That is a high. Good grief. Anyhow, my reputation has gone up. We were a star in a little bit at the beginning of the season. We are now 2 full stars. I can't say that my stats have gone up a lot. My attacking and defending has gone up. But that said, what we're going to do is play the FC Martigues game, then come back with an end-of-season review, and we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. So I'm going to set the best 11, check my reserves, and we'll be back with that match in just a bit. Well, this being the last game of the season and the fact we've already clinched, we're going to play the youngsters today. Martigues finished 11th in the league. They avoided relegation, but I think this is still a pretty strong squad. Adriani and Gineste are the only full-time starters. Well, Gineste isn't even a full-time starter anymore on the squad. Brigado, Blaze, Mariano, Lorenzi are all youth players. Onda is a backup, but he hasn't got a lot of playing time, so I'm comfortable playing him at the anchorman role, which he's actually pretty good at. Parent is a pretty capable midfielder, a lot of potential there. Eret, Gineste, and Istria are my attacking midfielders, and Latunji up top as the pressing forward. I could bring on Bell. You know what? That is what we are going to do. We're going to bring on Bell. See if he can't get another goal or two. And then... Yep, we'll bring Latunji on as reserve. So we are 1 goal away from tying the league record for goals. 2 goals when we have the league record for goals in a season. But I'm not really worried about that. I just wanted to see how well the youngsters will do. That's going to be a big issue in the offseason, is sorting out the youngsters. Who's going to go on the reserve team? Who's going to stay on the under-19 squad? And who I can loan out. I'm going to try and loan out a couple of players. I've thought about looking for an affiliate. I don't know if we have the money for it, though. The board might not go for that. Eret dispossesses Dubois. Up the field to Boris Bell. He doesn't have a lot of help, but he takes a heck of a long shot and skies it over the bar. Now, half hour in, no other highlights. We've had 4 shots, none on target. They've had 1 shot, 1 on target. Parent picked up a yellow card. It's not a game unless we get at least 2. Adriani, out to Brigado. Up to Eret. Back to Brigado. To Eret. He cuts inside. Across the field to Lorenzi. Centers it to Onda. Back to Lorenzi. Let's try singing up to Istria, but Rosset stepped in front of it. Kabundu now to Ortega for Martigues. Back to Kabundu. To Rosset. Back to Kabundu. Over to Ortega. Long cross across the field to Dubois. He's going to cross it in. Oh, and it headed just wide. Rosset with the throw-in. Nyongo to Kabundu. Back to Rosset. Oh, Onda intercepts that. Sends it up the field, but Kamara's there for Martigues. He centers to Gonsalves, who sends it forward. Is that a foul? Mariano pushed Nyongo. Okay, Florian. Oh, nice save. Lorenzi runs it down. Good job, Florian. Coming up on the half. 7 shots, 1 on target for us. 4 shots, 2 on target for them. We've had our chances. We just have not made the most of them. Well, about 60 minutes in, we are going to make a couple of changes. Brigado's going to come out. Leroy is going to come in. Onda and Parent are going to switch. Parent's going to come off. Mary's going to come on. He's not the best defensive midfielder, but he's capable. And then we're going to bring Bell off and bring Latunji on. Triple substitution with 30 minutes left in the game. What could possibly go wrong? 10 minutes left. Not a lot of action going on. Very even stats-wise. Last chance for either side. Kamara up to Rosset. Ortega. Back to Kamara. Long pass in, but too far. Adriana's going to pick that up. Rolls it out to Mary. Back to Mariano. Long pass towards Latunji. Knocked down. Mary's there. Sends it to Onda. Cross to Eret. Drives forward, and that is the game. A 0-0 draw. And Adriani with the deserved player of the match. Switch this here. And there you see it. Not too bad. Honors are even. Wasn't our best game, but then again, it wasn't our best side either. But I wanted to get the youngsters some playing time. We received 30,000 euros for participating in the National 2. 40,500 euros paid to the squad for finishing 4th. And we received 72,400 euros for our final position. Yeah, this part right here. From December 7th to February 29th. That's what saw us through. We went on an unbeaten streak. How many games is that here? 3, 7, 13 games unbeaten. And to be fair, we got off not exactly to a fast start, but we got off to a good start too. That did as well. I mean, the fact that the way the rules are in the league, you know, the reserve teams can't get promoted. All we needed to do was finish near the top, and we did. Led the league with 72 goals scored, 33 goals allowed as the second best. Sofian Borspel, 17 goals. Bezecourt at 7.65 and 20 assists. He's got to be the best signing of the year. 5 Player of the Match awards. He almost set the record for most Player of the Match awards, but he got injured a game ago, or 2 games ago, and I decided not to play him. So we will get to the end of the season here and the awards, and we'll be back looking at some players in just a sec. End of season awards are here. Vincent Bezecourt, Player of the Season, of course. Goal of the season, Bezecourt against FC Martilla's in December. And he's also the signing of the season on a free. Young Player of the Season, Jeremy Santini. Let's take a look at this Bezecourt goal. Oh, yeah, this is the free kick from about 28 yards out, maybe 30. Curled it into the top right corner of the net. 4th in the National 2A. There are several, I keep calling it the National 2, but the fact of the matter is there are several nationals out there. And the team that gets promoted from each one goes into the national. So these are the teams that are coming down. Red Star Tour and Red Star Tour getting promoted to the League 2. Châteauroux is in the playoff with the... So in League 2, the bottom 2 teams are automatically relegated, so Villefranche is coming down. The people they poached from us this season obviously didn't help them. And the team in 18th place plays the team in 3rd place in the National for promotion as well. So if VAFC, I should know this, Valenciennes. If Valenciennes beats Châteauroux, names are hard, they'll stay up. If they lose, they'll get relegated down. Dynamics update, we're doing pretty well. Geneste and Sioni are going to be leaving. Adriani stepping up to highly influential is nice. Santini also becoming influential is also nice. In this season team meeting, what do we plan to achieve for next season? We're going to go with well done in getting the club promoted. I really think we can stay up next year provided we make the right additions to the team. Everybody else that. Except, it's got to be a glitch. This has to be a glitch in the game. Everybody loved it, and yet they all went, no. Confidence review. The locker room atmosphere is great. Matches, everything's great. Club finances are on the good side of half. Season injuries, not a whole lot. Brigado was out with 3 months with a broken ankle. That was the biggest one. He's a youth player who got some time in the last game. Roncaglia, broken collarbone, out 7 weeks. Madu was out for 5 weeks. Bell was out for 4 weeks with a groin strain. I cringe every time I say that because, you know, preseason start date, June 29th. You know, we're going to go 6 weeks on the preseason. I don't have my notebook here. I can't write that down. I got to remember that. Going to the finances. With the loan repayment coming off, that'd be 185,000 euros a month we're spending. We brought in 174,000 euros this month, so we'd be losing... nuts. So we'd be losing 10,000 euros a month, which is nice. Payroll-wise, let's go to the squad here. Payroll-wise, I've got about 2,000 euros leaving. I can adjust the transfer budget to increase that as well. I'd like to think we'd be able to at least buy a player this season. We've got up to the National 3. Hopefully this time we can attract some players of quality. This is what the squads are going to look like next season. The youth squad is going to be this. The under-19 squad is going to be this team. And there's a lot of talent here. And it is all young. These guys... at least one, possibly two more seasons on the under-19 squad. Maybe loan them out. Maybe get them first team playing time. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. If we go to the reserve squad, this is going to be the reserve squad next season. A couple of these guys are going to get first team playing time. Parent and Eret, especially. Valero as well, getting some work on the in the striker position. The senior squad is going to be everybody from Roman Paletti on down. And the fact of the matter is, Paletti might be leaving as well. But Sione, Ginesse, Carlotti, and Rame aren't coming back. Laval is a lone player. I could try and get him back, but I don't know. We'll have to see what the off season brings. If I sort by appearances, Makamari had the most this season with 36 and 1 off the bench. Goal wise, it was spread out quite a bit. Our top three players had a decent amount of goals. Bell had 17, Jeremy Santini had 15, Bezecourt had 15, Doumbia had 8, Gineste had 6, Mary had 5, Krabache had 4, Laval had 3, Pelopoulides had 3, Roncangeli had 2, Madu had 2, Nizeye had 2, Midori had 2, Kropanese had 2, and then we had 6 players with 1. Assist-wise, Bezecourt just totally led the team with 20 assists. The next closest was Santini, who had 6, Laval had 5, Bell had 5. Players of the match, Bezecourt led the way with 5, Bell had 4, Santini and Doumbia had 3, Mary and Nizeye each had 2. Average ratings-wise, Bezecourt 7.65, Parent not too far behind. Well, he didn't have enough games. Santini had a 7.47. This is our depth chart as it stands at the moment. We do have some issues. I'm happy with my strikers. I'm happy with my attacking midfielders. What I might actually do is move Bezecourt over to the center and start playing Diallo at attacking midfielder left. I'm happy with my midfielders and defensive midfielders. We need a left back. We need a defensive center back for depth. We need a better starter on the defensive right side. I'm happy with Adriani in goal, but I wouldn't mind bringing in someone better than Bianca. And that's what's going to make the offseason interesting. I don't know that I'm going to sign on to a scouting package. Our budget's usually about 23,000 euros. The problem is the cost. If we're up in the national, we'd be paying 41,000 euros a year just to scout the national, and that doesn't include youth players. What I may do is just scout the lowest, or depending on what sort of increase we get in the staff size, add another scout and just start scouting France, possibly branch out into some neighboring countries, Spain, Germany, Belgium, see if we can't pick up any youngsters there. A lot of my staff, especially on the under-19s, are year-to-year contracts, so we're going to have to do our best to re-sign them. I don't know if our reserve team is actually going to go into a lower league. We'll find that out when we cross that bridge. There are going to be a few more tabs added. I went online and found some spreadsheets that people used in the past, and they have some pretty cool stuff on there that I think is going to help out. This was the squad in October of 19. As you can see, a lot of the youth players are really improving. The players that are falling off are the older players. In January, comparing them to what happened in October, again, as you can see, the youth players are really taking a step up in terms of how much they improve. Jean-Marc Parent, Bruno Eret, this is when he came back from his injury, I believe. And then you have a player like Nicolas Midori, who for whatever reason, even though he got a lot of playing time, is just falling off. And then this is what they were like in May. I'm not quite sure what's happening here with the red in terms of Brigado and is this Cilia? Yeah, I know why that happened, because Cilia's 35. If we sort by age here, this row right here, this is Cyril Roux. He is a goalkeeper. He is the everybody above him is 19 or younger. So as you can see, the fact that a lot of these guys have a lot of green in their attribute increases is a very, very good thing. I'm still not quite sure what's going on with Brigado and the Bravery falling. I wonder if that could be injury related. But the thing we could also look at is... it took a little bit longer than I thought. It's amazing what an extra exclamation point in a formula will do to totally screw things up for you. This is a comparison of the roster from their May 20 attributes to their June 19 attributes. As you can see, that's a lot of green. I'm still kind of worried about Nicholas Midori. Makamari going down in a couple areas as well is a bit disconcerting, but then you have players like Bruno Eret, who are pretty much up across the board with the exception of his concentration, which went down. There's probably a way to sort this out by most improved. I'll have to figure out how to do that, and we can see who actually is the most improved and go from there. But as you can see, the team is making solid progress in the training. Probably at least the most improved off the top of my head, just looking at it, it's going to be Bruno Eret, because he's +1 in most categories, +2 in his determination and agility at least. And if not him, Jean-Marc Parent is up at least +2 in a couple categories. Yeah, it's something to fool around with. I gotta add another column on here, count the number of formatted cells, and then get a total. Something to do in the future. The attribute analysis is coming on really well. I realized when I did this originally, screwed up on this part here. The way I have it set up is if you have just one player that you're looking at, yeah, it will pull up his attribute analysis, but it won't populate the axes labels because those are taken off this here. And the way I have it set up is you need the second column because that is what it reads off of. Let me recalculate this here real quick. And as you can see, now that populates with the changes and so on and so forth. So someone like Patrick Istria has really improved in a lot of areas. I have it set up over here. If I want to just look at Patrick Istria and see how he is doing now, I recalculate it, then this one here will pop up with just the single attribute analysis. So in the off season, after I stop this, I've actually got some budgetary stuff to work out and some budgetary stuff to bring in. Then next episode, transfer window, friendlies, see who we brought in. If there wasn't a lot of action, maybe get a live comm out of the way. But I think you will agree, we've made some pretty fabulous progress. I wasn't expecting back-to-back promotions. Although, honestly, getting promoted from the National 2 is pretty easy, given that none of the reserve teams can get promoted. So, you know, frankly, if they'd finished 6th and I'd finished 7th, I would have gotten the promotion spot. That said, well, the National is going to be a bit tough to stay in. There's some good teams in there. There's some professional teams in there, too. We're still a semi-pro team. If we get promoted next season, it's going to be a freaking miracle. I don't see that happening. I mean, as pessimistic as I am about my chances, even the best of times, despite what's happening on the pitch, we're definitely not getting promoted next season. Mid-table finish is what we're aiming for. I'll be happy with the lower half finish. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. If there's something you want to see on the spreadsheet, let me know. I'm more than happy to pull that up and take a look at it for you. My name is FM19, and I thank you for watching the Ritornu Gloria with SC Bastia, Episode 16.